Don't worry about it.
When you are teaching, I'm learning that to mediate an idea effectively is not an easy task. So when some of you grasp onto an idea and you start to kind of integrate it into your own clinical consciousness of how to actually execute something, it's intensely rewarding to watch that, because as you're aware, I'm completely committed to the fact that osteopathic medicine is part of the solution, at least in primary care. The way we think, the way we approach the patient, how sound it is, and to be able to potentially affect burgeoning clinical minds at this stage, where it's second nature to you, is a huge benefit.
Well, I think Dr. Hayes is a fantastic teacher. It's been kind of fun to watch, because every time he treats somebody, he uses that really as a teaching moment, and you always see students kind of gathered around him, not only listening to what he's doing, but kind of watching how he interacts with patients as well. And it's kind of fun, because even if you're the one being treated, he definitely stops and will say, oh, well, I'm doing this, this is why I'm doing this. So everything really comes with an explanation, and every moment is really a teaching moment for him.
He is one of the most selfless, dedicated individuals I've ever met in regards to the osteopathic profession, and especially his dedication to the students. So if I had to say one word or a phrase, dedication to the students. He goes out of his way to go over and above and beyond the call of duty in regards to not only teaching the students, going out of his way to provide extra training, videos.
And I love his class because he's very passionate about what he does, and he really wants these students to be passionate as well. I know that I'm really motivated to study for tests because I want to do well in front of him. If I end up having him as my test proctor, I want to look like I really know what I'm doing, so I really appreciate that about him.
The thing that I think is so great about Dr. Hayes is he knew all 162 students' names in my first year class before I did. And I thought that was pretty special about him. He shows he cares.
Dr. Hayes is always willing to take time out of his schedule to help us. Just 5 minutes ago, he was on his way out the door, and I had a question, and he stopped what he was doing to help me and took time out to help. And he's always enthusiastic about it and just really kind.
Dr. Hayes is the reason that I chose to go to this school. During my interview, he actually came to our group and gave such a passionate speech about osteopathic medicine that I just knew that I wanted to learn from him.
OMT is a medical procedure, okay? I need you to understand that my intent today is to try to maybe hook into your scientific mind.
You know, we're trying to create a structural environment so that the person's body can actually, use ATP as efficiently as possible. So that it can do its job. So, so that to me is part of this approach. When I say rhythm, because I'm a drummer, I feel like there's a rhythm in the body, and there's a rhythm in how you speak, and a rhythm how you listen. Because a lot of what we do is listening. You're not in the room just talking. You're listening to the history. You've got to get your job done in 15 to 25 minutes. So you need to use whatever tools you have to actually get that information. But for whatever reason, when I'm using OMT as part of my treatment, if it's indicated, and I can find some dysfunction that seems reasonable to actually address, that could validate or direct a therapeutic pathway, I'm listening to a rhythm component of their musculoskeletal system based upon my palpatory skills. Rhythm is a huge doorway for me. What does the tissue feel like? What level of the connective tissue are you palpating? Everything's got a different density and tone to it. So that's what I'm looking for, again, for that reward, 6 to 8 years out from now when you guys are practicing attendings, and to kind of see, did any of it take? Are you embracing like how unbelievably cool this process is? It's a very difficult process, but the job that you're going to be doing is it's noble. You know what I'm saying?